Nobody's here yet. You guys hop on here. Let me know you're here. Maybe a minute or two early, but we're getting ready to get started. I can get this off of there. There we go. Let me know when you hop on here, where you're watching from. We're going to make some keto bread today. I'm excited about that. I'll tell you why I'm so excited about it in just a minute. Hi, Ruby. I am doing great. Thanks for asking, Miss Ruby. Do me a favor. My screen or something's not been working on here, and it looks like y'all are only getting like half of me. Am I all the way in the middle? Ruby, I know that you're here. Am I centered on the screen? Because it looks like I'm centered, and then when I actually look at the video, I'm not in the middle. I'm like somewhere on the side. Somebody let me know. Am I in the middle? Hey, honey. He's on here too. Hi, Darlene. Am I in the middle of the screen? Charles Black, I know you're watching. Am I in the middle? Thanks, Ruby. My husband has a doctor's appointment over the phone, so he's probably on the phone. He is hoping to get off so he can come up here and say hello. Hey, honey. Honey, if you want to come up here before the doctor calls you, you can come up and say hello to everybody. I know they want to see you before I get started on this bread recipe. Here he comes. I hear him. Hi, Edna. Thank you. Honey. Okay, he might be on the phone. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Hi, Darlene, Edna, we got Charles, we got Ruby. All right, if you're watching, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. That would be really great. I know that Ruby's in Canada. She won our giveaway one time, and we got it to Canada. I am making bread today, and I'm bending over just a little bit because of my screen. But the reason I am so excited to make bread today is I've been missing it. You can make sandwiches, and like y'all already know, most of you watched my video from yesterday, and I haven't been full keto for about a week and a half. Things going on around here. Just been basically eating what everybody else is eating, and that is not good for me, because that's, for me, it's like a spike in weight. Thankfully, because of these things right here, I haven't gained any weight, although I feel like it. I feel bloated, but I'm back on keto, and I'm missing sandwiches. I actually like sandwiches. Chicago, all the way from Chicago. Thank you for watching and supporting me, Edna. So anyway, I'm going to make a loaf bread. I didn't know if I was going to make just a slice of bread, to make a sandwich for the day, or a whole loaf. Makes more sense to me. Just go ahead and make a whole loaf and get it out of the way. I don't know what you think, but that's what I'm going to do. And just to let you know, this is not my recipe. I got this recipe out of our secret group. So if you want this recipe, it doesn't belong to me. Here it comes. You're going to have to type group in the comments if you're not in the group already, and I'll tag you to this recipe, or you can write it down as I say it.
Hey, everyone.
There he is. My husband's been, he's been recouping from surgery, and he should have been recouped, but he's been bad.
Yeah.
And he keeps hurting himself. Don't you dare.
Yes, and I stay in a lot of pain.
A lot of trouble.
I was trying to be nice.
Well, that is your name.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, I got to live with you, right?
He does. He cannot leave. All right.
Just want to say hi to y'all. I'm waiting on the doctor's call.
Yep, he's waiting on a doctor to give him a call. So this recipe actually has a lot of eggs in it, which is, you know, usually you have a lot of eggs when you use coconut flour, but today we're not using coconut flour, we are actually using almond flour. So I've already busted the eggs up, and I will let them come to room temperature because I'm going to be putting melted butter in there. And of course, you know, you don't want to put cold eggs with melted butter, or unless you cool the butter down, because you don't want it to get cooked. That's not what you're cooking. You're cooking to make Ruby said, "Hey, honey." He will see that, and I promise you, he will respond. So I'm going to go ahead and beat the eggs up first. And it's in the directions, it says to do this for about 2 minutes until it's really, really good and fluffy. I don't know. That sounds to me like it'll whip. We'll find out. My grandson Michael is watching. Hey, Michael. Let's see if I can do this without splash. Wouldn't it be funny? No, I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. So we get to do this for a couple of minutes. I did not see a video on this. Even in the group, it's not a video. It's just a recipe, so I'm praying that I do this right. I'm just going exactly by the instructions. So this is 7 eggs, and I'm just going to beat it up really good for about 2 minutes. Is anybody timing me? Because I'm not. It's been about 30 seconds, maybe. How many of you have tried the Aldi bread? Have you tried the Aldi bread? If you have, type bread in the comments. I want to see who's with me on that. Then I'll tell you my soft story. Hey Jerry, thank you for watching. I think it's been about a minute. And do it for another minute or so. It says to beat the eggs in a bowl until fluffy. I don't know if that means it's supposed to be white. But it's going to be fluffy. We're almost there. Anybody timing me? About another 30 seconds ought to do it. What you think? Nobody's timing me. I think that's fluffy. Hi Cheryl. Yes, Cheryl, that is 7 whole eggs. And you beat it for, they said, approximately 2 minutes until it's fluffy. I didn't see a video on this. I just got it out of our group. And it was just a recipe written out. So I went ahead and did this so that I'm doing a video. So hopefully everybody will be able to see how it's done. So we got the 7 eggs. I hope it was about 2 minutes. Hi, Kelly. And the next thing I do is I add melted butter and coconut oil to the mix. I melted it already and I put it together in here. This here is a whole stick of butter, real butter, or you can put just half a cup, however you do it. But I just use the stick, which is half a butter, and I put 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil in here, and I'm going to put that in here. I hope this bowl is big enough. By the time I add everything else to it, put that in there, and then we're gonna beat that together just a little bit. Now, I was telling you a little story about Aldi's, and the reason I'm doing this bread is because I've tried Aldi's bread, and I like Aldi's bread, but in our area, there's no bread at Aldi's, none of the 0 carb bread. And some people that are doing strict keto won't eat it anyway because of the ingredients that's in it, which I haven't really seen any bad ones, but you know, there's things in there, I'm sure, that if you're strict keto that you're being very careful for. So anyway, I'm going to make this bread because I tried to buy some of that Aldi bread online and it was like $30 for 2 loaves of bread. I'm like, I ain't even going to go there. I will just make it. I have everything here to make it. Hi Vanessa, thank you for watching. Kelly, thank you so much for watching, you guys. So I have in here 7 eggs, whole eggs, and I put 1 stick of butter, which is half a cup, and 2 tablespoons of coconut oil melted, and I stuck that in there. The next thing I'm going to do is put the dried ingredients in here, and then I'm going to mix it really good. And we're about done, you guys. I'm going to put in, excuse me, 2 cups of almond flour. I went ahead and took this out of the refrigerator this morning so it wouldn't be so hard, because almond flour can get really, really lumpy, clumpy, and all that good stuff. And I just wanted to go ahead and do this, get it out. That might be enough. And I use the super fine, the really, really fine blanched almond flour. It doesn't have the husks and stuff in there from the almonds. I do know that if you use the one with the husk in it, the bread is going to be heavier and it may not rise at all. So you do want to use the super fine if any way possible. So there's 1 cup. And 2 cups. Okay, so there's 2 cups of almond flour in there. It's getting really, this bowl's getting full. I hope I ain't gonna have a huge mess on my hands. So we put that in there, a teaspoon of baking powder, which we had to get some baking powder because I've been baking so much it's about gone. And does anybody know the difference between regular baking powder and double acting? Some recipes is calling for double acting and I ain't got a clue what that is. I don't know what it does. I'm gonna have to Google it. But this is just regular baking powder. It didn't say. I mean, this is double acting, which is what I got from the store, but it doesn't say double acting that you have to have. And then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Xanthan gum is what will pretty much make this the bread consistency. And I got this here off of Amazon, I think, but you can now get this at Walmart. They have xanthan gum. They have it in most of the Whole Food stores, the Costco's and things like that. You can get it. So I'm going to put half a teaspoon of xanthan gum in there. Xanthan gum also you do not want to go over. Xanthan gum is what it says it is. It's gum. And it kind of like takes on the action of gluten in bread where it causes it to bind together really good. Alright, so now I'm going to beat this real good. Try not to get it everywhere. Let me do this right quick. Push it down inside the bowl. I should have got a bigger bowl. So this is a tip. If you when you guys make it, get a bigger bowl. Because I forgot. You keep adding stuff to it, it just gets more in there. Hi Ronald, thank you for watching too. Alright, it says to beat this up for about 2 minutes, so that's what I'm going to do. Anybody timing me? I have a mixing bowl, but I haven't used it. Cheryl says that you don't need to mix the dry ingredients separately. They did not call for us to do that because I'm using a mixer. If you're going to hand mix it, I would suggest that you do it separately and make sure everything is combined before you put it together. But you don't have to if you have a mixer that automatically mixes it together. Or at least that's what it says on the recipe. I made this bread, I think this is what I made one time several months back, and it's really good. You can toast it. I had it for breakfast in the mornings. Now as far as macros go, if you're counting your macros, It doesn't have that on the recipe. If you like, I can figure it out for you. And then it depends on how big the slices are. You're welcome, Cheryl. It's getting really gummy. This is cool. It feels like a bread dough. Okay, so I don't know if that was a full 2 minutes because I don't have any way of checking my time, but it looks great. I do know that for the egg part, to beat it for 2 minutes, I know that you're basically whipping air into it, and when you whip air in, you have a fluffier bread. One thing that the directions do tell you, and I'm going to go and tell you the rest of the directions. I'm getting ready to pour this in here. On the directions, it does tell you that when you take it out of the oven, to put it on its side in the pan that you bake it in. Now, I am using silicone because nothing sticks to it, but I went ahead and sprayed it anyway. If all you have is a tin or a regular pan, cooking pan, you might want to line it with some parchment paper, make sure that you spray it really, really well so it won't stick. I went ahead and sprayed this down anyway, although nothing sticks to it, but I did it anyway. I mean, you can't go overboard, I don't think, on making sure something's not going to stick to the pan, especially something like a bread that you want to take out. So when you do bake it, make sure you lay it on its side like this. So, and it says the reason that you're doing that is so that it doesn't fall, basically, so that after it rises, it'll stay risen like a regular white bread would. So that's the reason it tells you to do that. Now for the baking instructions, you would bake this at, if you're doing Fahrenheit, it's 355 degrees. I don't know why it's 355. You don't see that very often, but they were very specific with 355. So I've already preheated my oven to 355. If you are doing Celsius on your stove, it's 180 on your stove if you're using Celsius. And you'll cook it for 45 minutes in the oven. And of course, everybody's oven is different, so if I were you, around 40 minutes, I would go ahead and check it. And you know, you can do the toothpick test or a really thin knife test down in the middle to see if it's done. If it comes out clean, it's done. But I like my bread brown. You'll find out from my grandsons, they're like, Grandma, you ever cook everything? Well, I just happen to like it that way. So I'm going to pour it in here and I'll show you what it looks like in the pan. And after I'm done cooking it, I am going to show you I'll share some pictures of it. And then of course, I'll give you an honest opinion of what it tastes like. So I'm going to just mash it down, spread it out in the pan. This is already pretty. And I have some ideas, and I was like, I might do that this time. So Cheryl says, I'm confused. Did you say to put it on its side? No, not to bake it, but to cool it down. Once you get it out, you'll want to lay it on its side and let it cool in the pan for, it didn't say how long, but let it cool in the pan. That way it doesn't fall, because it's risen right now. Or when it's cooked, it's going to be higher, you know, risen like regular bread, but it will fall if you set it straight up like this while it's cooling down. So you want to do that just to keep it tall, keep the bread tall. All right. So that is it. 45 minutes in the oven, 355 Fahrenheit or 180 Celsius. So there it is. Can't wait. Next time I make a bread like this, it's going to be a sweet bread, and I'm going to put some cinnamon in it. I'm going to make an icing for it. So that will be coming up probably next month. Can't wait. So anyway, you guys, do me a favor. Share this out. Click on follow if you're not following me already so that you'll be notified. if you share this out, I'll definitely put your name in the drawing for the end of June. The more you share, the more times your name is put in there, so you have a bigger chance of winning. The one that shares the most gets another prize, so which is really great. I love giving, and this is my way to give back. So anyway, if you want in the group where you can actually see the recipe that I'm using, because I can't give it to you written down on here because it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to someone else. Her name is Sam, and I don't want to take this recipe away from her. So just type group in the comments. I'll put you in there and tag you to this recipe if you're not already in there. If you are already in there, say in the group, and then I'll tag you to the recipe. So you guys have a wonderful day. God bless you. Check back later on. I'm going to put you're welcome. I'm going to put some pictures on there, and you'll be able to see the finished product. Bye, you guys.